always get it.
complimentary.
You are always a vibe.
See, you needed the backlist number tonight because it's toasty in here.
I know. I wore the wrong thing. Yeah, the only reason I wore it is because it's yellow, swarm and stuff like that. I was just like, I thought I'd wear the yellow, but it's hot. It's very hot.
What is the earliest thing you were a fan of that you had to have all the things for? The posters, you had to go get all the things.
That's a good question. I guess at my youngest, probably Ninja Turtles. Then my first concert ever was Criss Cross. I was like in love with Criss Cross. I just thought they were the coolest. And I had the poster. I wore my clothes backwards. Like Criss Cross was it. But those were the big ones. That and then I got really into. I used to watch like anime, and like the only anime that was available at the time, Kids Zone, was like Sailor Moon and Ronin Warrior. So I was into that. Yeah.
I love it. Like, I love your outfit once again, but what was it about this story that you wanted to tell? The story of a psycho fan, if you will. What was it about the story?
I just thought that really it was just we never did a real character study on Atlanta, but also I just thought it was the most fun. I just felt like we talked about it a lot. It's like this is, it's kind of I wouldn't say a cautionary tale, but just the idea of fandom in the internet age is really interesting and strange. And you can know so much about a person, and then when you meet them, it's this weird question of like, when they meet you, they're just meeting you, but to them, you're happening to them when they're happening to you. Like, kind of I think that's the strange thing about it. Like, I know what you ate this morning. I know when you went to bed. I know all those things, but we've never met. So I just felt like it was a good time to do it. And I felt like a character study in the Atlanta universe would be would be fun.
Hey, Danny, how would you pitch Swarm?
I would pitch it probably pitch it as like Piano Teacher meets P Valley. Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, and in there, I was like, or just or Power, something like that. We went over a lot of shows that were like reenactment shows, because like that was we were kind of touching on. We just liked like the People versus OJ, like all those kind of things where it's like reenactment-y, where you can be a little over the top, and like that's the fun of it. Like we referenced a lot of those shows, so I'd be like those two.
As you were first kind of coming up with what the show was going to be.
Honestly, we were just like, it's just gonna be fun to watch. Like it really came down to that. Like I know, like it's like a lot of like heavier issues or like ideas, but it really boiled down to like, is this gonna be like something that like I would want to watch? It was just something that like in the writers' room we talked a lot about. Like, this could be really kind of weird, which I was excited about.
Absolutely, but it's kind of weird, but it's not a work of fiction, as you guys very specifically state.
There's a lot of it's based on true events.
Well, why did you want to explore those true events? What was it that interested you about the idea of having a black woman serial killer?
Well, Hero had coined this kind of phrase that I really liked, which he was like, this is kind of like a post-truth TV show. And I was like, there's a lot of post-truth stuff where people are like, the news is post-truth now and we don't know what's real and what's not. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's the bad part. But the good part is it makes stories feel better. Yeah. Like I love in the Atlanta season where we like made the fake documentary. I'm like, that was good because it felt real. Yeah. So I'm like, trying to make things feel real is like the good part of this.
Last thing, Dom, of course, getting the opportunity to be a producer as well on this series. What was it like to be able to kind of give her that opportunity to add that credit as well, and kind of give her that pathway as a creative?
I think the big thing I was like the most proud of with this show is that and I always want to do that, is try and give people like her roles that she normally wouldn't get. Like I feel like that's what was really important to me. Like her being a producer, she was gonna be a producer anyway. Exactly. Like she was always gonna she's a hard worker. But I feel like the roles was like the fact that because she was supposed to play someone else, and then she read the script. She's like, I want to play her, and I was like, yeah. Let's do it.
Play? Or who was she gonna play?
She was gonna play her sister.
Marissa. Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because she has a warm feeling. She was like, "No, I can be crazy," and I was like, "Okay, let's try it." Yeah,
let's give it a shot.
It really went down to that.
Yeah, because it's subverting so many things that people think, quote unquote black shows by black creatives can be.
Yeah, I think that was this came from the internet. Somebody was like, why are we always? I remember them saying why are we always lawyers and best friends? We can be murderers too. And I was like, that is true. I was like, that sounds like fun. You know, like, this just sounds like fun to do. I would want to do that too. So I'm just happy that we got to make something that, like, Dom played really well. It wasn't easy, but she's such a good actress, but also like a hard worker. So.